So, we've got Sam on the voice call now. So, firstly, welcome in. How you doing, my man?
I'm doing very well. How are you doing? Apart from the fact I just lost in the beta.
Thanks for that.
Yeah, I think you did as well. So we can be sad together. I lost against Mington Stanley.
Yeah, unfortunately, those buggers for Weld managed to beat us, so I'm not going to hear the end of that for a little while.
Oh, did you play well today?
It was Weld today, so Spud is very happy.
Yeah, that's a big one. I know the Weld Ultras will be happy with that. They're probably on Twitter already in your mentions.
Unfortunately, I've been getting it already. It only took about 2 minutes. But overall with beta, obviously, for anyone wondering, this has now been recorded on Monday evening and we've just had a league reset. So I guess the first question that we should touch on is, how's it been going ever since everyone's joined in? Obviously, I've jumped in along with, I think it was 36 of us that have been added this time round.
Yeah, it's something like that. Yeah, 12, 24, 36, 36 people. And it's actually been amazing. It's been so fun to see the community play it, because there's been quite a long time where it's just been team and investors playing it, and you don't get as much of that interaction. Like, obviously at the start, us in the team, well, it's mainly me giving the banter everywhere, but they're focused on the dev work, whereas I enjoy chatting to people and going at it. But it's been so good having a lot more community members in, because it's just cool seeing everyone interacting. Like, we've got a trade channel for the phase 2, we've got the general banter chat, which is always funny at the match time, and then we've got the feedback channel, which has been giving us really invaluable insight. And everything, like, there's been little issues, like the server went down yesterday, but all this stuff that happens, it's just prepping us for the official launch. You want this stuff to happen in the early beta, even before the phase 3 beta. So yeah, it's been really good to see everyone enjoying it as well.
Yeah, absolutely. I've really enjoyed it, I must admit. For anyone that's seen my streams or my videos, you can probably tell that I've been getting quite invested in it, even though these players aren't going to exist on launch, sadly. So I'll need to learn how to say goodbye to them at some point.
I think that's the thing. I think people are getting very attached to players, as I did with Joey Green. I had Joey Green for actually 2 seasons, which it's quite a long time, and I got very attached to Joey Green. Hopefully we'll see him in some form at the official game.
All I'm saying, legend cards are there to be made, so
they are indeed,
and be bought off you.
Yeah.
Wouldn't even end up with them, maybe. But what's the kind of biggest takeaway you've had from, since we've all joined in and beta's expanded? What's the kind of main positive, do you think, as the team that you've seen from it?
The main positive, I think, is the fact that we can scale it pretty quickly from here. Like, once we upgraded the servers, because it was quite slow at the start. I think everyone saw that it took a while to load pages, and that was the main dev work for the 2 days after. And as soon as they sped that up, we knew that more people could come soon. And once we've got some of these bugs ironed out that you guys have been feeding back to us, then we'll be happy to expand. And I think it's just that feeling of we're getting close now to more people playing the game. And you know what our phase 2 chat's like already. When we get another 48 or however many people we're going to add, it's just, I think everyone's getting quite excited now that we're getting to the point where the community that's been so strong all the way since we minted back in November is going to finally get to play with their clubs. So yeah, that's the biggest takeaway, is the scalability is there, and we're excited for it to scale up.
Yeah, and on that note, one of the questions I have been asked to feed to yourself is, this current season, it's probably a good question to ask now, given we've just restarted again. Will it be a full season, or will it stop early before people are added in afterwards?
Yeah, so in all honesty, it probably won't be a full season. We'll have to see how much feedback you guys give and how long it takes to fix the bugs. But there's nothing too major, to be honest, from what you've given us so far. So I think we'd prioritize getting more people in, because it's better to test with, say, 100 players rather than the 48 or however many we've got at the moment. So I think we'd prioritize that, and even if that did mean a season had to end before it actually ends. So it all depends really on how long it'll take to implement the feedback, but I could see the season being cut short again, especially after we had to reset.
As long as I'm not top, I'll accept this.
Yeah, but you never know. We might, whoever's top of the leagues, we might give them a Footium kit. Whoever's top of the leagues at the end of it. So yeah, little things like that. We've got to make it interesting. And whoever's bottom, I don't know, we'll give them some sort of forfeit.
Quite like that as well. Lose an air player or something.
Yeah, probably. Mate, I don't know what's happened in the early beaters. I was amazing. Now, mate, you probably don't believe that I was winning games in the early beaters. Now you see me play in this one.
We just get your word for it. That's all we've got.
I know, exactly.
But yeah. So do you think? I was going to ask about numbers. Do you think 100's a reasonable guesstimate in terms of how many might be in for the next tranche? So that would be what, an extra 50 odd people added in?
Yeah, so I've actually been looking at the Phase 3 list today, and it'll just be adding Division 3. So that'll be 48 more people. So it will be literally another 50 people, hopefully, in the next couple of weeks. So yeah, I'll be messaging people probably in a week or so. So you'll have to make sure you've got your, be on the lookout for a message from me to see if you make it into Phase 3. But it's just good because, it's just good because a lot of the early members as well that didn't quite make it into this one, will definitely make it into Phase 3.
And it won't be a link DM, will it? Just
will not be a link DM. No, will not be a link DM. I couldn't believe that. I think obviously it was straight after our seed round announcement, so we probably had gained a little bit of traction, and then that bot came in and messaged everyone. We were quick to ban it and put the announcement out, but obviously not everyone looks at the announcements all the time, which it's always hard to see because there's nothing we can do when someone has been scammed through the link. But yeah, we'll just try and keep the safety announcements as much as possible. I do recommend people turn the DMs off from the server, because you can always like message someone, say, oh, can you accept my friend request in whatever channel, like want to buy, want to trade. It's just going to be a much safer way, because the scam message did look like it was from the Footium server.
Yeah, we should probably re-emphasize that just now as well. The fact that you should never click any link that's DM'd to you from someone you don't know, or one that's been going about, I've noticed today, is a QR code. Never use a QR code from someone you don't know. Just keep your wits about you, I guess, is the long and short of it, is it? Yeah,
100%. And just never put in your seed phrase anywhere. No one will ever ask you for your seed phrase. So that's just the biggest thing, your secret recovery phrase.
Yeah, but don't give access and don't give your seed phrase is the best way you can stay safe.
100%.
I think it's they're not long and short. But that you mentioned there, obviously, with the seed round. I was going to touch on that, so it seems as good a time as any now. That was a huge announcement, wasn't it?
Oh yeah, I've been buzzing. I've been having to keep that one in for a while. Me and George have been working quite hard on how we could amplify it and what sort of journalists we could talk to. And yeah, that was amazing to finally tell everyone, because I've probably nearly let it slip a few times about Chris Smalling, because obviously I'm a Man United fan, and Chris Smalling being an angel in the round was amazing, and he's got his club and he's in the beta, and I do need one of his goalkeepers, so I'm gonna have to get him. We've sent them the video on how to get onto the beta, so I'm gonna have to send him a little message and ask for his goalkeeper. But yeah, we're all absolutely buzzing with that, but it's just the hard work continuing now, is scaling up the beta and getting ready for the official launch and just keeping that momentum going.
And generally, is everything still on track for launch being Q2? So we're talking May or June?
Yeah, I think it will be the end of Q2, definitely like June, mid-June sometime. But at the moment, yeah, things are going on track. It's, for me, we're kind of at a point now with the scalability where it's looking good. We're getting bug fixes, and as we get the feedback and the bug fixes, we'll fix them. The UI UX designers are doing a really great job on the new UI, which is, it's like night and day between the old UI and the new UI, and hopefully we'll be able to implement that near the end of the beta. So, because obviously with a new front end, there'll be more bugs and things to test. So that's the plan. We'll get that implemented near the end of the beta, ready for the official launch. But yeah, they're doing a great job, and I'll be sharing some more sneak peeks of different pages, because I think they've done the players page and a couple of other pages as well. So keep your eyes out. Teasing us now.
Teasing us with sneak peeks.
It's amazing. It honestly is. I love it when they send the design through. It looks great.
They do look really, really good, I must admit. Just they look dead intuitive as well, which is another thing that should be really easy for people just diving in for maybe even a couple of weeks of beta before the full launch to get used to it. Even,
definitely.
You know, even if they're not in beta, it should be easy to get going, basically.
Yeah, I think the current UI is basically just to test the game engine and make sure there's not anything glaring there. But the next UI is to actually help you enjoy playing the game as well. The customer experience will be so much easier. Like, you'll have a little countdown to when you need to submit your tactics. There'll be alerts, notifications for bids, news, which will be exciting, seeing big transfers in your leagues, and it'll be a lot better.
So when we approach full launch, one of the other things that people keep asking about is these legendary cards that are going to be coming on. So am I right in saying there'll be 20 up for auction at the start, or will it be more than that for the first season?
First season will be more. I think just because it's the first season, we're going to do a couple more. We actually, if you were an early adopter to Footium, we gave away 12 right at the start. So there's 12 lucky people that have got legendary cards. So it's all bespoke art, commissioned by different artists as well. So I think the auction will be done probably a week before, or like just a couple of days before the official launch. But I think 50 in the first season, and from then on it'll be 20. But obviously 12 will be given away, so 38 will be up for auction first season.
And then it will be an auction, so it won't be a fixed price or anything like that.
No fixed price, no, it'll be auctioned. So that might even be quite exciting, watching the price tick up and putting a bid in and stuff like that.
And is it a scale of ratings for these guys as well? Like, obviously for where we are just now, we're seeing generally players between kind of late 20s, between 1 and 99, isn't it, the scale? So anywhere from late 20s all the way up to, I think, 60 odds the highest I've seen, mid 60s, maybe one in the 70s.
Yeah, we've actually got quite a lot of ideas for that we've been fleshing out over the last month or so. We're planning on putting all of this information along with formulas for how players are generated, why they get these ratings in certain positions on our Git book, which should be coming out in the next week or two. So it's worth keeping your eye out for that. But it's really interesting. It's got all of the formulas, which they look pretty scary because they've got so many different factors as to why a player can get these stats and why they go to that position. But that'll have more details on what constitutes a legendary player, what constitutes a rare player, and a normal or a common player, which it's just kind of all to do with their potential rating. So obviously you could get a legendary player, which, let's just say for argument's sake, his potential max is 92 rated. And if you don't play him well, if you don't train him right, then you're not going to make the most out of him. So it's not to do with their rating when they come into the game, because it'll likely be lower, but it's to do with their rating, their max potential rating.
Yeah, that makes sense. And then in terms of that potential, I assume it won't be a number we can see their max potential, but will there be an indication of if they've got a good potential or not? Or is there going to be a number there?
So that's kind of what will be the rare and the legendary thing. Obviously, legendary players are only for auction and they're all custom art, so you'll know that it's going to be a high potential. You won't know exactly what that's going to be, but each season we're planning for your academy cohort. Obviously, you get 10 new players, and we're kind of wanting it to be almost like a pack opening of sorts when your new cohort comes through. So we're going to make it like a really cool reveal, and we're thinking a rare player will have a small glow on the outside of their card, and you'll know that that's a player that you want to keep hold of and try and develop or sell on to someone that's interested. So there'll be a small few tells, but not a direct way.
No, I like that subtlety. Yeah. Just a little bit of the FIFA style almost, I guess, if you're doing pack openings with that. A little glow.
Yeah, obviously it's not actually spending money to get the packs, because you get your academy players and stuff, but I've spent a lot of time on FIFA and I've opened a lot of packs in my time, and I know it's so exciting when you open one and you get a good player, and I think it could be seen as quite similar to So Rare as well, when you get your rewards and they flash up one by one. We just want to make it quite an exciting experience, because it'll only happen once a month. You get your new academy graduates in, and it probably is one of the most exciting parts of the game, is getting your new intake. I know on Football Manager as well, it kind of you get them through and you see their potential rating and things like that.
It is one of my favourite things, I must admit, in Football Manager and other things. So it totally makes sense that that'll be really, like, especially if you've had a very mid-season where you've not really done too much, you've not gone up, you've not gone down. At least you've got something to really look forward to at the end of every season there as well. That's exactly it. Yeah, you might have finished 8th, not really much going on, and you've always got that academy pack. I'm calling it a pack. Your cohort to come through, which will be really exciting. So something else that's been quite quiet since the initial article came out and the chat that followed, it was really good chat, was the prize pools side of things. So are we any closer to getting some updates on that, or is it something that's still in the works, it's still up for debate?
So the prize pools is still following all of the estimates from the article that George did a few months ago. That's still what we're predicting. Obviously it's an estimate and it's tentative and you can never know, but it maybe the first season it won't be as high, and we'll probably subsidize the prize pools a bit, but that is what we expect it to be. Those estimates are what we expect the prize pools to be.
And it'll be those number of teams that'll be getting prizes as well then, so that's not going to change at all.
So there's been talks of a couple things. Maybe there'll be like a stadium improvement for like a little, just something, a little prize, because obviously you might finish fifth and be like, oh, well, what have I played for all season? And like we said, the academy cohort next season. But yeah, there's talks of maybe some more aesthetic prizes for fourth and fifth, and people always enjoy that sort of thing as well, to add to your stadium. I know there's been a lot of talk about hot dog stand. People want
I was literally just about to ask about the hot dog stand.
That's been something that's talked about a lot. So yeah, there'll be stuff like that, and we've got a couple of other little ideas that doesn't really change from what we've got planned, but that'll be more information closer to the launch on that.
And kind of leads into the next thing, because one of the suggestions was to do with the Photium Token. So have we made progress on that front? I know there's going to be an article coming at some point to explain tokenomics and so on, but have we got a name for it as well as the other thing? Not
got a name for it yet, but there's a lot of work going on with James, and some of our investors actually are working with James on that. So we're not wanting to really talk about it much until everything's completely firmed up. So I can't really say anything about it, but there is work going on, and it will be with our official release.
Gotcha. So, like, just to clarify that, it will be known about before full launch.
Yes.
For anyone that's wondering,
Yeah, and for now, you've got obviously the ROMs in the beta, which people can use for trading.
Yeah, I have already been using it and emptying the piggy bank.
Yeah, and to be fair, the Rarible API is back up as well. So we're going to implement buying and selling again next week. So you could list a player for 5,000 RON and someone could just go on the transfer market and buy it, which will be a much smoother experience for trading.
And something else that was asked that it's a good time to bring in now is that transfer market. You can obviously list a player for a certain price, and as soon as that price is paid, they'll go. But you can also bid on players without being on transfer list, can't you? And it's just a case of if the other person accepts or declines it.
100%, yeah. So all of this was working pretty early on in our testing, but obviously the Rarible Rinkeby API going down literally a day before we open up to phase 2. So that's exactly what I did for Joey Green. I just put 10k RON bid on the table, and Jordan couldn't say no. He was very quick on to accept that. But yeah, you can, because obviously Jordan was never going to list Joey Green. He scored like 11 goals in 10 games, but I just thought I've got to put this bid on the table. I'm in the relegation zone.
Kind of similar to what I did, to be fair, with big Kingston Norman, so I know the feeling well.
I know, I think I will put a big bid in for Kingston Norman, so you got to watch out.
I'll have to hold off. Try and hold off. But yeah, I think that's the kind of main questions that have came in. Like, other ones have been touching on things that we've already been chatting about in these secret chats that people can't see in the phase 2 bit, about kind of ideas for where the game's going. And like, one of the things that's been suggested, and I believe will be coming, is making the kind of player positions easier to see on the cards and also in the tactic screen. So not just listing up one position, but giving all the positions they can play. Yeah,
definitely. I know I've seen in our team chat today that Fraser's been working on that. So that's one of the highest priorities we've got as we go into next week, is the positions. And because it is quite confusing at the moment, you can't see all of the positions, and sometimes the stats, because obviously right before the phase 2 beta started, we actually implemented quite a few new stats. So we added more defending stats. Before it was just defending, so we put like tackling, heading and things like that. And for some reason that made outfield players have goalkeeper stats as well. I'm not like, I'm not a dev, but they just say you put these things in and everything looks perfect, and then the most random issue could come up, which is exactly what the beta's for. But yeah, just little things with positions and stats is like the main priority for this week.
Yeah, I kind of quite enjoyed the fact I've got a right back who's also a goalkeeper. Just a shame he can't play either very well. But
yeah, I know. When I logged on and saw that, I found it pretty funny as well. It was a bit Manuel Neuer. Some of my midfielders had mad passing and really good goalkeeping stats as well.
Proper sweeper keeper right there.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
But yeah, obviously that will get fixed in due course and so on. So, like, I know the other thing that's coming is more formations.
Yeah.
Is the plan eventually to make it so it's quite customizable formation-wise, or will it stay in choose a formation and then put players into it, do you think?
Yeah, so the plan eventually is a bit like other football management games where you can literally make your own formation. You can change it however you want. If you wanted to play 8 strikers, you can. But for now, we're adding something like 15 more formations, I think, which is something as well they're working on this week and next week. Because we've got them already, we've added. There is a lot, so yeah, there'll be probably enough for a normal person to use. But I know there'll be people that want to make some proper crazy tactics,
asymmetric and all that stuff. Yeah,
yeah,
Christmas trees.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
just like the tactical nerds out in force. But exactly. We'll also look forward to that because there's just been new positions added recently as well for us, that people might not have been aware of that. Weren't there before left midfielder, right midfielder, because it used to just be left wing, right wing, didn't it?
Yeah, so that was actually something that we worked on because I think 4-3-3 had 3 centre forwards and things like that, and we wanted to make it more like normal football where left wing, right wing, and 4-4-2 was left wing, right wing, and it's kind of a little bit different, isn't it, in football? A left mid isn't necessarily going to have the same attributes as a winger. You're probably going to be a little bit better at defending, maybe not quite as fast. Not like a Neymar player. I don't think a Neymar would play left mid. So yeah,
no, I was definitely a winger rather than a mid. Yeah,
yeah. When we were doing the stats, we were kind of basing a right mid on like a David Beckham type player, and a left wing was more like a Neymar.
Makes sense. Yeah. Something else that I've been asked. I'm not sure how well you'll be able to answer this because obviously it's quite a guarded secret with the inner workings of the game. You don't want to give those kind of details away, but right now the mentalities are defend generally kind of balanced and attack.
Yep.
Are they going to develop more, and is there going to be a noticeable difference in them?
They'll 100% be developing more with more you can do. I don't know if you saw in the early beta there was a lot of different things like pressing and everything like that. That will definitely be something that we implement, but for now we're just trying to get everything out in a way that's easy to understand as well, like just a simple defensive balanced attack, and it all has an impact on the game engine. It's all like the different formulas create the different ratings, and I don't know if you see when you switch it changes your defensive and attacking a little bit, and so yeah, at the moment that's what we're going with, and that's probably what will be at the official launch, but obviously we're going to update and upgrade the game all the time.
So no closely guarded secrets to give out to people behind an official launch then?
No closely guarded secrets.
To be fair, Sam's losing games, so even if he did know any exploits, I don't think
I've got nothing.
Don't think they're working.
I've got nothing now. I was bottom before the reset. I didn't have anything to do with the reset though.
No, it's one of these things, and that's why we do beta testing, isn't it?
100%.
I did enjoy everyone trying to put their different reasons out there on Twitter and so on. For it. That was quite entertaining.
Yeah, I think you got attacked by the Wild Ultras.
I think the bus get attacked, the team bus get attacked or something. Yeah,
and Well dropped the social media manager dropped his phone down the toilet.
So yeah, there was a few different approaches. I just like to blame other people for everything that happens, to be honest. But be interesting to see how that develops as well, because obviously we're seeing more and more Twitter clubs come through, and the community is really building ahead of launch, isn't it?
Yeah, that's one of my favourite things. I love seeing the clubs interact on Twitter, and having the beta expand to community members is just, especially you and Spud on Twitter going at each other. It's just I just love to see it, and the social media graphics and the lineups. It is really creating this world of football in the metaverse, which it's just amazing to see.
So I guess we'll cover some of the frequently asked things as well. People that have just came in to the Discord or just considering buying a club, there's been a lot of questions around changing things in the future. So changing the badge, changing the colours, changing the name.
Yep.
So just to kind of briefly confirm, the names aren't going to ever change, are
the
they?
The names will be something that will never change. No, you'll never be able to change the name, because we've spoken about this before, but we don't want, even as a Man United fan, you don't want 100 Man Uniteds in the game. You don't want people, Liverpool's, Real Madrid's, all of that. The badge may be in the future. For now, we've got no plans to change it. Obviously, they were all generative. Divisions 1 to 3 were bespoke, and they do look a lot cleaner than the generative ones. But if we do allow people to change the badges, it'll have to pass through the Footium Football League vote, which everyone's a member of, and it'll have to keep a similar style, maybe similar colours, and like Penn City has a panther, I think it'll have to keep a panther on it in some way. So that's kind of not planned exactly, but it's something we're probably willing to change in the future, is changing the badges. But kits and stuff are a lot more open. Obviously, at the moment, they're just 2D generative kits, and people have been doing their own kit reveals, which have been really good to see. So that's going to be a little bit more customizable, and probably stadium names as well. But once again, that'll have to pass through the Footium Football League though.
Chance of sponsorship there, potentially.
Yeah, no, that's exactly why we want there to be customization on the kits and the stadium names. We want people to go out there and find real world sponsors. I know Old C Stanley, they found Hex Toys as a sponsor on the kit, and it would have been really cool if they could have had that on their club page.
Love that idea. Idea. There's so many ways this could go, isn't there? That it's such an exciting time for the game. If it has a great launch, then who knows where we're going to end up with it.
Exactly. Yeah.
So that's kind of what I was going to bring it into to finish off. So it's good timing. That. What are your hopes for? Well, until we get to say the second blockchain, because that'll be a big topic coming up, no doubt. But
it will, yeah.
What are your main hopes for the game on full launch in the kind of next couple of months after that, to see where we're going to end up in?
Yeah, I think my main hopes is for just everyone to enjoy it, because obviously there's been other football management games that have done online a little bit but not fully done it, whereas Footium is literally a real-time football management game all every day against other people. Like, you're trying to outwit other people rather than a computer, and I think the community around it as well makes it so much more amazing. I think you'll see teams live tweeting their games, tweeting each other during the games. I think the Discord will be very lively. So that's what I'm excited about, obviously, as the community manager, is seeing the community really enjoy the game and create this metaverse world of football and tune into their games every day. And yeah, that's what I'm most excited for.
Yeah, definitely. I think it's already started, hasn't it, on the kind of the Twitter conversation side, so it'd be good to see where it goes, and Metaverse studios and that kind of thing as well.
Yeah, it'll be cool seeing shows that at the weekend maybe you go over some of the top goal scorers of the week or some of the more entertaining games, and just more things like that will be really cool to see. I know there's been a couple of people that are making data websites, and we do have our community fund which people can apply for as well.
How will people be able to apply for that? Is it just to get in touch directly, or?
So yeah, we actually have a form and an article coming out on Thursday, which will explain a little bit more about that and have the form linked. So it'll be easy for people to do that.
There you go. Heard it here first, folks.
You did,
even though it's going out on Friday.
Oh no, you had a little bit of early alpha, but
might be a teaser clip out of Twitter.
Yeah.
But I'll finish off with that next blockchain, because that's been a hot topic as well.
Yes.
If assuming the roadmap sticks, it would be quarter 3, quarter 4. We'd be looking at a new blockchain. So firstly, one of the suggestions was that the names could change slightly, the name and type could change slightly to give it a different feel, almost like Spain to England, for example. So is that something that's been thought about? 100%.
The Ethereum League, how we made all the names generative and all the towns and stuff, that was put in, I think, near a crazy amount of roadmaps in England, road signs in England, into a generator, which then generated everything. And for the next chain, whichever chain that may be, we don't 100% know yet. That will probably be Spain or Germany or Holland or something like that.
Love this.
Yeah,
love
so
that idea.
There'll be a bit of difference there, which will be really cool, especially for the cross-chain Champions Cup as well.
And we don't know what chain it will be still, just to confirm that as well.
No, we don't. There's a lot of discussions going on, a lot of ideas, but we don't want to put.
That smile tells me something. You'll get the conspiracy theorists down in the chat here.
Yeah.
But the other, I guess I should have probably asked earlier. The other things about the layer 2 for Ethereum, assuming that'll be in place for full launch.
Yeah,
are we getting close to that being confirmed as well?
Yeah, 100%. That'll be their official launch, and I'm pretty sure we'll be announcing that to people soon.
Cool. We're nearly there. We'll find out soon enough.
Exactly.
And all transactions will be through layer 2, won't they?
Yeah, because obviously Ethereum, the clubs are on Ethereum, so you've had to pay the gas fees for when you're buying off OpenSea and when you're minting, but there'll be too many transactions in the game for it ever to be on Ethereum. So layer 2 is just, it's a no-brainer. Like buying and selling players, the minting cost will be, sorry, not the minting cost, the gas fees on layer 2 are tiny, couple of dollars really.
There we go. And I'll finish off with, at the end of this year, going into next year,
yes,
what would you like to see? Like, where would you like Footium to be at that point?
I think for me, it would be great to see a couple of Champions Cup games onto a different chain, even if it's just 2 different chains or maybe going onto a third. You could still have a little Champions Cup tournament. And I think going into next year, if we can have a little Ethereum versus whatever Champions Cup, even if it's just a straight up final between the first and the first of another league, I think it would just be amazing to see a cross-chain Champions Cup game.
I've just remembered the other question I was meant to ask, so fire it in to finish off.
The
cups have been asked about because the way it's set up is it's a league game every day, basically, in the season. So is there potentially going to be 2 games in a day if you've got a cup game as well, or will there be set days for cup games as planned?
Yeah, so at the moment, the plan is you might have 2 games in a day, which obviously might not be the best for some people. So we're willing to listen to any community feedback that there might be on that, whether that is there'll be a certain day where there isn't a game, there's a cup game. But yeah, at the moment, it's planned to be 2 games a day if you have a cup.
Interesting. So potentially a chance to lose both games. I love that.
Yep, exactly.
But no, that's been really good. Obviously, if you have any questions in Discord, tag this man right here. He'll be more than happy to help.
Yep, I sure will. And you will as well, Alfie.
Yeah, absolutely. All the growing community helper clan will be there as well. So
unreal. So helpful.
I'll take that, by the way. That's one of the nicest things people have said to me in that Discord. But no, thanks again, mate. Appreciate your time.
No, cheers, mate. It's been good.